Oh wait, are we on, Jesse?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Welcome. This is our monthly region meeting. My name is Dina Kretzer. For those of you I have not met, I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, and we come together once a month with the first priority to share the business opportunity with our guests, just in a casual, relaxed atmosphere. Just if you're a guest, it's just you're here just to learn more about it. No pressure, no expectation, just take it all in and just get to know and see some faces of who does this business. And tonight, is that my phone doing that? So I hope not. No, mine's behind me. It's not doing that. That's all. But we take turns in here giving the different parts of the opportunity presentation, and you all are in for such a treat tonight. When I began my business 8 years ago, I understood how it would work, that I would be finding my own customers. I would teach others how to do the same thing. And so those were just kind of like I don't know, just a drawing on paper of that, your network would branch out, but I had no idea who those would be. And as I say often, and my daughter's not here tonight, but the only person who is part of my Arbonne team who I knew before I started is my oldest daughter. And so tonight, 3 awesome friends of mine, not just business partners, but awesome friends in my life. And technology, what do you want, police for me, much needed. And yes, Dottie, thank you. You're going to hear from Executive Area Manager Connolly Stewart, Area Manager Amy Muir, and Area Manager Jesse Collier as they come up here. And why don't y'all just all come up together, and they are going to share what we have found as such a gift in this opportunity. And I am going to sit back and enjoy this. So, thanks.
Thanks, Dina. Okay, I'm going to get started, and then this is kind of fun tonight because there's 3 of us, not just 2. So I first start just telling you a little bit about myself and my Arbonne background. So again, I'm Connolly Stewart, and I was first a teacher when I was introduced to Arbonne. That's when I went to school to study and did the whole 5-year VCU plan, earned my master's degree, and I was in. I thought that's what I was set to do for the remainder of my life. I hadn't really thought about what about when we have kids. I wasn't even married at the time, so those things didn't really cross my mind. I was just following the path that most people do. And like I said, I'd always dreamed of being in the classroom and working with children. So got into the classroom. I did enjoy it at first. It was fun. It was what I expected in the fact of working with 5-year-olds and how busy they are and funny they are. But then some things just started to kind of shift for me. I did get married that first year of teaching, I think it was, and I started thinking about starting a family, what that would look like, and then I realized what I saw other teachers I was working with who had young children, and they seemed really stressed. And I didn't want to be, that didn't seem appealing to me, so then I started kind of getting nervous. How are we going to have children? How is this going to work? Am I going to feel just strapped for time and energy until they get up? How will this really look? So that was my mind shift. Around that time, my best friend introduced Arbonne to me, and she had just started her Arbonne business, and she was loving it. And if y'all know Brittany, she's so stinking cute, blonde hair, curls, looks like what you would think an Arbonne consultant should look like. We look all very different. We're all very different. So I thought, when she asked me to look at the business, I was thinking, well, Britt, this is fun for you. You're cute. You have really nice makeup all the time, but this isn't for me, I have just started this career, and this is kind of the track I'm on. So no, thank you. But because she is my best friend, she definitely had, that unspoken permission to keep kind of plugging it to me politely. And we're really good friends with her and her husband. So we were all having dinner, and they brought up Arbonne again, and my husband got wind of it. And he was like, well, what do you mean? Why don't you want to look at this? It'd be great to have a plan B. And I'm like, oh, but okay, So we went to a meeting like this, heard the income opportunity, and that is when I got really excited because I just felt so motivated. It was like a renewed energy within me. And what that brought about was my realizing that there are other things that I would like for my life that maybe I just didn't know were possible at the time. And so Arbonne, and just hearing the opportunity in itself, not even jumping in and doing the business yet, which I very quickly did after that, showed me that there is a plan B if that's what you're looking for. And so at the time, I didn't know exactly when I would want this plan B or how that would weave into my life, but I did know it was something on my radar. So it seemed like a good idea to me, you know. So then I started my business while I was teaching, and then it's when I got pregnant with our first son that it just completely shifted for me. You know, I knew crystal clear where I wanted to be, and I went to GTC, our global training conference that's actually coming up in May. And April? Yeah, I have it on the calendar. I will be there. Don't worry. Anyways, when I went there, I realized, and I was, maybe 20 weeks pregnant, that I can do this. You know, I can do Arbonne and replace my teaching salary. Went to Dina, we had a nice coffee. She showed me the path of how to make it happen, and that's what happened. So, you know, I personally haven't looked back since. You know, people often ask me, do you miss teaching? Are you going to go back? You know, you're going to go back to teaching, right, when the boys are in. We have 2 kids now, a 1- and 3-year-old, both boys. You'll go back to school when the boys are, you know, you'll go back to teaching when they go to school, right? And I'm like, no. I mean, it's not that I don't love teaching. I love teaching all of my wonderful team and, you know, all of the guests at our presentations. I love teaching my children, and but seeing the choices now in our life, you know, it just outweighs it. That's really what it comes down to. So that's where I am personally in my business, just continuing to build and grow so that not only my family can have the choices, or I can have the choices of being home, but now other people on my team or future people that don't even know about Arbonne yet can also have the choices. Because once you experience it, you realize it really is a gift. It takes a little bit of faith to leap out and just go for it, but there is so much on the other side. It's absolutely worth it. And I did have a few hesitations, like everyone does when starting my business. You know, it probably sounds easy rolling off my tongue now, but you know, it's when you crystal clear know what you want, you can move past any hesitation. So if you're a guest tonight, think about what you want. If you're a consultant tonight, think about what you want, you know, because your why or your reason, my why is my family, my kids, and now my team. But that's what's going to motivate you. So just to talk about our compensation plan, because this is also motivating. You start at the consultant level in Arbonne, and then we show you how to promote to our first level of management, which is district manager, in your first few months. And district managers make up to $1,500 per month. Then you promote to area manager. The 3 of us are area managers, and area managers make up to $3,000 plus per month. And this is a great level to be at because you can now will your business and your organization. It becomes willable to your family. Then there's regional vice president, which is when you receive your white Mercedes. So that's a company car. It's not too shabby. And then our regional vice presidents are $8,000. Sorry, I don't know why this seems. It's up to $8,000 plus. So $8,000 and beyond per month. And then our national vice president, that's our top level. And there's no cap on who can become a national vice president. That's something I was confused about at first. I thought our personal national vice president was the president of Arbonne. But there's lots of national vice presidents, and we can all become one. There's unlimited potential there. So the average is about just $21,500 a month, but that, like I said, it's unlimited. So there are ladies just like us bringing in a lot more than that per month. And then let's just talk about what makes Arbonne special. So our motto is pure, safe, and beneficial. And that matters because what we're putting onto our skin goes right into our bloodstream. And so we often do think about, well, what are we eating? Is this good for me? Because you're like physically, but and you're like, how much sugar is in this? But you really got to think about it with your skincare too, because it's also going right into your bloodstream. And we are 35 years old. So we are established as a company, which I love, and we are on people's radars a lot more now than ever because people care about what Arbonne stands for, which is this pure, safe, and beneficial motto that I shared. We're 100% botanically based and Swiss formulated. We are manufactured in the U.S. in Irvine, California. We're pH correct and hypoallergenic. We're pediatrician and dermatologist tested. We are vegan certified, so that's a biggie. We're eco-friendly. We're super green at Arbonne. We're gluten-free, soy-free, and dairy-free as well. We have no synthetic dyes or chemical fragrances, so you're going to get a really great smell from Arbonne. That's one of the things you'll notice right off the bat. Like, this just smells good. Well, it's just those botanicals. And we're formulated without toxins or carcinogens, including no mineral oil, no parabens, no formaldehyde, no tar, talc, lead, phthalates. The list, there are more than that as well. The list goes on. And I love that in the front of our catalog, that's one of the first things. You can see a lot more about our ingredient policy and what we're formulated without. Because it's more, really often more important what's not in your product. Because those are the yucky things that you don't want, like I said, going right into your bloodstream. And then lastly, just a word on the quality of our product. So there are 3 grades. There's the American Beauty, and that's going to be what you find like in the grocery store or a drugstore. And then you have Premium, that's what you're going to find at a department store, or if we're talking about nutrition, a specialty nutrition store. And then our ultra premium quality, and that's Swiss formulated, boutique or appointment only, and it's 100% pure. So you can guess Arbonne falls in the ultra premium, but we are not sold at the ultra premium price point. So most people never would get to really use an ultra premium product because number one, it's hard, like boutique or appointment only, it's kind of hard to find it. Number 2, it's really hard to afford. It's very expensive. But because Arbonne sold through direct sales and network marketing, it's at even a lower price point than many of your department store premium products. And so I thought that, I always knew, we shared this, and then a new consultant on my team called me and she's like, so I was doing a little research online and I saw that we must fall in the ultra premium because I'm reading and it says it's only Swiss formulated. I'm like, yes, we are ultra premium. Did you not remember that from my presentation? So it is true. We are ultra premium product. And you'll know it because when you get Arbonne on your skin responds much differently than maybe what you were using before, even if you thought you were using a really high quality product. So I just think that the price point we're sold at, it's just like a steal for the quality of what you're getting and for the fact that it's so safe, and Arbonne's really always keeping up with those standards. I'm going to pass to you, Amy.
Hi everybody, my name is Amy Muir, and I've had my Arbonne business for just over a year. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what network marketing is, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on what my business, what choices that my business is now creating for my family. So my husband and I both work full-time. We're both in the clinical research industry. And we are very fortunate. We have 4 girls. They are very busy. They are all involved in travel soccer. Working full time has definitely is something that it's not that I want to do long term with my corporate position. My husband and I, as we've kind of grown and we're both approaching. My husband just turned 40 earlier this month, and I'm quickly approaching behind him. I don't like to admit that, but I am quickly approaching and trying to kind of figure out what it is that we want to do. We live very comfortably. We have more than we probably need. We're able to pay our bills every single month, but it's when it gets to the end of the month, we don't necessarily always have that cushion or that that extra that we can go and plan nice family vacations and that we can kind of look forward to college and those sorts of things. So what my husband really wants nothing more in the world to pursue his passion for photography, and he would love to go into business for himself. Our situation right now would never allow for such a thing. We can't function right now on one income. So, however, now moving forward, this business is going to give us that opportunity. This business is going to give us the opportunity, and it was a dream, and my dream is now becoming a reality. It's now within my grasp, and we are so excited about it. We feel so blessed that we've had this opportunity come into our lives, and so that's just a little bit about my background, and I'm not going to go any further into that so that I can kind of get into what network marketing is. One of the things that really scared me about this business was the network marketing. What did that mean? So what was really important is I attended a meeting back in September of last year, and really it was very much like this. We got to learn about the opportunity, learn how the business worked, and it really allowed my husband and I to really just dive deeper into what Arbonne is and what this company can offer, and that truly network marketing is very much just, it's the business model of the 21st century. People want to own their own businesses. People want to work at home. People want to, be their own boss. People want to have those flexible hours and kind of build that financial freedom for themselves. They don't want to have to be answering to somebody else. It's word of mouth advertising. How many times are you looking to go to a restaurant and you put a post out on Facebook and we're looking to go in Carytown tonight. What are some great restaurants there? And you have people providing comments and feedback to you on where to go and what would be a good recommendation. That's word of mouth advertising. We trust the culture today. We trust our friends and our family over any type of advertising that's out there. If you need a plumber, you ask for a referral. If you have a great hairstylist, you ask for that referral. Well, that's really what Arbonne is about. We have a business. It's a simple system. We shop from our own store. We share and recommend and introduce products to people, and then we teach and train them to do the very same. It's just as simple as that. In traditional retail, you have a product. It starts in the manufacturer. It goes to the wholesaler, then to the warehouse, to advertisers, to the retailer, and then it ends up in the consumer's hands. And at every one of those stages, you've got a little piece of money coming out of it. So there's a cost associated with that. So it is very expensive. And who do you think pays for that? The consumer. Especially in the advertising industry, that companies are paying millions and millions of dollars to celebrities to back their product and to have commercials for them. And so we're paying, consumers are paying for that price, and they're pushing those prices up. When there's studies that have been shown that people don't trust advertisers, so it ultimately ends up being a waste of money. We're looking for that word of mouth advertising. So network marketing actually has a very effective distribution center. So you have a product, it starts in the manufacturer, it goes through the Arbonne consultant from an order standpoint. I'll explain that in a minute, and then the product goes directly to the customer. So you kind of cut out that middleman. You don't have those people taking little chunks of money all along the way, and then we don't have to bump the prices way up. So when we say that the products go through the Arbonne consultant, it's not that you receive a box in your home and you're having to dig through it and figure out what belongs with who, and putting it into packaging and having to go and drive all over Carnation to deliver the products to your clients. You, as the consultant, put the order into the computer. The order goes from the manufacturer directly to the client. Another really cool thing about our business is that we don't have to keep that inventory. Again, it goes directly from the client. Once they're signed up as a preferred client, they get a unique account. They can go in and place their order online, and it ships directly from the manufacturer or from the warehouse directly to their home. And guess what? The consultant gets paid on that, and they weren't even involved in that transaction at all. So that's a really, really cool thing. So research has shown that in order to have a successful network marketing company, a company needs to have at least one of these 4 key factors. They need to have consumable products, marketplace demand, timing and trends, and then the ability to leverage time. Arbonne satisfies all 4 of those, which is really exciting. So let's look at some of these key factors. We have the consumable products. So we have products for every single member of our family. We have the health and wellness line, which some of us were talking about just before we started the meeting tonight. It is $1 trillion industry. The anti-aging line, another $1 trillion industry. You look at all the baby boomers out there that will We're looking for ways to feel better, to feel healthier, to look younger, all of those things. We have skin and body care, we have a men's line, we have cosmetics, another huge industry, and the baby line. So all of these products would be considered necessities and things that people, once they run out of them, they're going to go back and order them again. And kind of as Connolly was saying earlier, once they feel those products on their skin and they're using them, you know, even from a nutritional standpoint and they're ingesting them, you feel the difference and you're going to want that. You don't want to settle for something different. So that's where those reorders come in. And then we look at timing and trends. Talking about health and wellness, that industry has exploded over the last, you know, most recent years, but even more so today. You know, we have internet sales that are booming. We have business ownership, people just wanting to be their own boss. That really is something that so many of us dream about, and Arbonne provides all three of those. When you look at timing and trends, again, what type of products do you think that people are looking for today for health and wellness? You know, this is a huge industry. We have so many nutritional products that are so good for you. We were talking about some of the protein shakes and how delicious they are, and sometimes, you know, we've tried so many, you know, out there that are available on the market, and ours just tastes better than anybody else. Once they've tried it, they're stuck and they're hooked. We have an amazing 28-day clean eating challenge, which you're going to have the opportunity to hear some testimonials later on this evening. Amazing, life-changing program. This is the time. This is the time to take advantage of this company and to tap into tap into this company where you can teach people how to make healthier choices. We have, you know, we're coming right up on the people making New Year's resolutions. So this is that time to look at that and teach people that there are better ways to do that in a healthy way. And then this brings us to the fourth key factor, and that is time leveraging. And I'm going to hand it over to Jessie to talk more about that.
Hi. Oh, look at my computer. Technology fail. There we go. Okay. So, my name is Jessie Collier. I'm an area manager. And as far as the time leveraging piece is concerned, that's how you get to the incomes that Connolly was talking about at the beginning. So it's, you know, you doing a little bit of work and then getting paid on everyone else on your team doing the same amount of work. So when I was working in corporate America, that just doesn't happen. You get paid a set amount, you trade your dollar, you trade your time for money, and, you know, you don't get very much increase as far as that's concerned. But with Arbonne and network marketing, the sky's the limit, and so that's how the time leveraging piece plays out, and we'll get more into that. I just read a book called The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke, and he talks about how network marketing is truly a 4-year career. If you are consistent and persistent with it over a 4-year period, you're going to replace and far exceed a full-time career just simply by sharing products, because that's ultimately, we're getting paid by Arbonne to share products with people, get products, our products in front of new people, plain and simple. And so as far as the time leveraging piece is concerned, if you, let's just say for the sake of math, dedicate 10 hours a week, you get paid on those 10 hours. If you teach 4 others to do the same, then you get paid on 50 hours. Then if they teach their 4 how to work 10 hours, then you're getting paid 21 people, 210 hours. Then they teach theirs, 81 people times 10, 810 hours you're getting paid on. So that is the beauty of time leveraging. And then as far as where we are, we're currently being sold in 5 countries now. We just launched in Poland in October. And so we're in the US, UK, Australia, Canada, Poland, and then Taiwan next year as well. So when you think of that, we are a $440 million company, about the same size as Clinique, and that's only in 5 countries. So that there's really a lot of untapped potential as far as that's concerned. We're at the earliest phases of strategic globalization. Arbonne has been very, very smart about where we're launching, and so we are poised for huge
global growth. We're launching our new platform in January, and that's really just going to help streamline the whole thing. We are only in the U.S. at 1% brand awareness. So again, 99% of people in this country specifically have never even heard. And that's also the beauty of this. We don't have territories in Arbonne. So we're in Richmond. A lot of my team is out of state, and I even have clients in Australia. Not that I necessarily sponsored, but somebody sponsored them. And so I'm getting paid on that. So are they, but so am I. So that's a beautiful thing. And so Amy was talking about how simple our system is. You know, we shop from our own store, and we teach and train others to do the same thing. There are 4 different ways to win with Arbonne. One being the consultant. You get a 35% commission on sales. You get overrides on your team sales, cash bonus at every level. Dina and we will be recognizing people for reaching those achievements. Incentive trips. The next one is a cruise for our 35th anniversary happening next October. And then we also have world-class training and mentorship, which is something that has been huge for me, because it's not really about what I'm doing in this business, but who I'm becoming because of this business. It's not about selling products for me, it's growing as a person for me, and the amount of growth that I've had in the last year is huge, and I am so grateful just for that fact. And it's free. A lot of companies you have to pay for the training, and Arbonne gives that free. And we have a lot of great mentors like Dina. Then we have preferred clients. That's a 20% discount program. Who doesn't like to shop at a discount? And you get free products on your first $150 order. You can shop online, like Amy was talking about. We don't have to place orders for people. They can just go like they were going on Amazon and place their own order whenever they want. And then you can be a host, and you get to earn products at a really steep discount that way. And then as a client, where you're paying full price. Before I close, you know, when I was first introduced to this business, I was a stay-at-home mom for my 2 kids, and I love my kids. I had planned to become a stay-at-home mom as soon as I got pregnant, and that's exactly how that played out. I was working in corporate. I had my MBA. I found out I was pregnant. And then I found out my company was going through a layoff, and so I took a severance package, and I was pregnant, so it was sort of best of all worlds for me. But after a couple years of being at home, I never ever missed working full-time, trading my time for money, reporting to a boss, having to wake up at, you know, ungodly hours because I was told to. Now I wake up at 5:30 because I want to, which is fine. But I didn't miss that, but I did miss the drive and the motivation that I had while I was working, and there was something missing. Not to mention, I was sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck. My husband can only do so much, and when I saw the income potential of this, and realized, you know, my passion is really helping people, the whole personal development, leadership, growth, that type of thing. And this just sort of really, really appealed to me, because I was not interested in a hobby. Hobbies cost money. I didn't have time either, because I was very busy with my 2 kids at the time, and then surprise, I found out I was pregnant number 3. So that was a huge hesitation for me. So really? I'm already busy. So, you know, I was taking a nap. Dina always laughs when I say this, but I was taking a nap during nap time because I was exhausted. But now I'm building a global business during nap time, which is exciting and awesome for me now. Now I really look forward to what's to come. I have amazing friends because of this. I'm going to Hawaii in February because of this business, Vegas in April, and so traveling is huge for me. But so I love it. I love it. This is awesome.
So the question that I was asked when I was introduced to Arbonne was, where will you be in 5 years if you continue to do what you're doing now, especially financially? And then the last question, if something unforeseen were to happen to the main source of income in your household, how long would you be able to get by on what you currently have saved? Enter Dina.
Oh my goodness, thank you, all three of you. Y'all were amazing. So where we need to be. Thank you, Connolly, Amy, and Jesse. And again, I had no idea. And I remember when you were talking about Brittany's business launch, or Brittany starting her businesses, I was there at her business launch and thinking, she is not listening to a word I'm saying. I mean, you could have been not the least bit interested. It was so funny. But to think now, I cannot imagine my life without the three of you, and Hawaii will never be the same after all. So what a privilege to get to spend this kind of time with you. And if you all are part of Connolly, Amy, Jesse's team, wow, these girls lead themselves first. Just follow and stick close to them, and they are going places. So the next part of our meeting, we always recognize consultants for their accomplishments, and this is a huge part in Arbonne, that it's so much when you are working. Some people are recognized well where they're working, some are not. I've heard many teachers say, they're not recognized if they stay 3 hours after school and do 10 times more than the teacher next door who went home the minute that you're allowed to walk out the door, or just anything. I mean, I was working self-employed with my husband at home. There's not a whole lot of recognition. Good job doing all of that. So recognition has been a really fun and special part of Arbonne. And I remember sharing this once before, that we'd read in the book called Success Happens, that people join a network marketing business primarily for one of three reasons. One is revenue, to earn more money, whether it's a couple $100s a month, or whether it's to replace a full-time income or surpass a full-time income. Another is affiliation, just because of awesome friendships. Like, not only have I gotten to know so many people here, but I look at the friendships between the three of you up here and see such a one, just all of that. And then the other is recognition, because it's great to hear the good job for the job done in private. And that's what, so much of what we're recognized for is work done in private. Nobody is cheering when you pick up the phone and set up an appointment, share the product, share the business. But we come in here and we get to recognize for that. And I didn't know quite how many. I've got plenty of flowers here tonight. I'm going to start. I've got our recognitions for our region written down. But Tammy, I want you to come on up, because I know you have some recognitions on your team. But there are, for those of you who are guests, Tammy, come on, make your way up while I'm saying this. There are part of your success line in Arbonne, but there are also sidelines, meaning there are consultants like Tammy who are not part of my organization. Tammy's an area manager in another part of Arbonne, but every Arbonne consultant keeps their meetings open to other lines. So we have, good consultants on Jesse's team going to a meeting in Maryland or in New York, and wherever people start, we can usually find you a meeting where you're going to be welcome. So I know you have some recognition tonight, so why don't you do that and grab a flower, and I'll wait till you're done and start on ours.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We do appreciate Dina for allowing us to come, because it is nice when you can come together as a group. There are several different little segments of Arbonne in Richmond, and I wish we would all unite together, because that's how we grow, and that's where you see the growth and the excitement. So thank you very much for that. We have two ladies on our team that this past month just started their business, but also went into qualification for district manager. So the first one is Linda Johnson. Linda, if you will come up. Linda is sponsored by Debbie Winall, my dear sweet friend. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. And you stand up here. Can somebody that could grab a phone? I didn't think to get my phone out, but if we can get some pictures like Dina always does, we need pictures too. I'm on Facebook all the time, but I don't post pictures, so I got to work on that. The other lady that we have in qualification for district is Becca Paramore. And Becca, if you would come on up. Becca was sponsored by Natalie Clyburn. Welcome, thank you.
About your phone up here too.
Okay, terrific. Well, what do
Come
you
on up here now.
technology savvy people? Oh, you don't need my camera on. Thank you very much. Debbie, you come up here too. So let's get pictures of the sponsors for these ladies.
Natalie,
Yeah, Natalie, you come up
can we take it?
Yes. And Debbie just got a short haircut. Doesn't she look fabulous?
I saw her doing an appointment in Panera.
Yes.
Congratulations!
But you'll have to tell that story. That's kind of funny.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's what my son said. Debbie said she could not have paid for somebody to have done that. It was perfect.
Great, congrats, ladies. Good job.
One other thing real quick, Miss Natalie is my hairdresser, so if anybody's looking for a hairdresser, she does a fabulous job. She has been in my business for a while and has really been working and focusing and committing to that daily activity. And so she last month promoted to district manager. And we did the gifting thing also, but we're going to do that part of it at our meeting. So thank you very much for.
Do you want a picture?
Part of
Do you want
that.
to take a picture?
Yes, yes, yes. Come back, Natalie.
No, she's.
Put a picture. Real quick. Suck it in and try.
Cute.
Well, 8 pounds less than suck in thanks to 28-day challenge.
Oh, I love it. What Arbonne has the philosophy of when one wins, all win. So it's just great to see y'all growing your businesses like that. Conley, would you just come help me do, like, I'll read, you pass out flowers, something will be a little efficient here. And I think there's a lot of ours that have flowers here that could have gotten less flowers because I see them not here. Jeanette Stoneman, sponsored by Bree. Jamie Miller,
She's not here.
sponsored by Connolly. Bree Spots, sponsored by Connolly. Roseanne Stoltz, who's out of town, sponsored by Jamie Stoltz. Becky Von Meister, you might just get all the flowers. Sponsored by me. So Debbie Russ, sponsored by Dreamy, not here.
No.
Erica Lilly,
Erica's not
sponsored by Dreamy. Jessica Moore, sponsored by Laura, not here. Nicole Spiro, sponsored by Amy. Where are these people? So Jordan McDonald, sponsored by Robin Riley. Catherine Campana, out of town, sponsored by Jamie. Elizabeth Phillips, sponsored by Melissa. Dottie Brown. Okay, I think I could have done it with 11 flowers, but if all of them. And Heather Soames, sponsored by Jesse, who is also in qualification for district and but out of town in Maryland. So congrats, someone take a Amy, do you have your camera right there? Yes. So we're gonna find something to do with all these flowers here. Where are these? Good job.
Oh, is it just us two?
Good job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congrats, Dottie and Becky. You guys will be stay right after time because next I'm going to recognize those who received their district manager bonus. And for those of you who are newer, they're not sure what that is. District manager is maintaining it as $2,500 in sales in your district, not just you, but your district each month. But then Arbonne gives a $200 district manager bonus to those who have $5,000 in their district and 5 new preferred clients or consultants. And so that's their real gift, is the $200 cash bonus or bonus in their check from Arbonne. Then you've noticed the bracelets are gone. Then we're back to Starbucks cards by popular demand because the person who's been doing the bracelets is stopping them by the end of the year. And I went, you know what, let's just go in and stop them now because she's going to work and not making them anymore. And I said, you know what, we've got a lot of bracelets and there's only one, we're going to go back to Starbucks cards. So I know y'all are excited. You get your Starbucks cards again. So district manager bonus. The bracelets were fun for a while.
And we're on a detox, so we can't even have the coffee.
Well, you can in 2 weeks, Jessica.
I will save it.
District Connolly Stewart, Jesse Collier, and Laura Bodie, who is not here. So good job. We don't, I mean, oh, I'm like, go. Okay, y'all gotta have a picture. I should be in there. I got my district manager bonus.
One, two, three.
And thank you, girls. And Stacy Turner also received her district manager bonus.
Woohoo!
So good job. And then the next thing, you just stay right here, Connolly. Yes, you stay right here because your area manager bonus is just huge. You get a $400 bonus from Arbonne and another Starbucks card from me. So now burning a hole in my pocket. Great job. Connolly is more than halfway to region and leading her team so well. So hold the team. Because next is this is not a bonus from Arbonne, but just a little recognition from me. We've been talking about earning your perfect brick, and I know those are foreign words to some of you who are guests, but that is just working your own business to where you have your $2,500 in sales every month, about an average of $625, isn't it, a week, and sponsoring 5 new preferred clients or consultants during the month. And so Connolly earned her perfect brick, and Laura Bodie and Amy Muir. Come on up. Congrats.
More pictures?
Snap your picture in that way. Yeah, I know. Y'all are going to scream if I make you another picture. So that is awesome. Truly working your business in a way others can copy. So is that it on the recognitions, except y'all see the designer bracelets that are back from Arbonne. And you know what these are for? We are global training conferences coming up in what month, Connolly? April. And every year there's a different theme. What was last year? Pure energy. This year is unstoppable. I love that. So everyone who has registered for GTC, some of this I know, some I don't know. Dottie, you've registered for GTC. Alice is waving her hand. Jamie and Tom. Yes. Connolly.
Conversation started.
Debbie. Okay. And Anne has registered for GTC and raffle tickets. Thank you. Who else in here has registered for GTC? Anyone else? I don't believe. I'm sidelines. Yeah, I'll go Arbonne to send me more.
Yeah, we have gotten ours, but Becca doesn't have hers.
Yeah. Okay. So you did get yours? Yes. Anyone else who was registered? Because if I will take this one little email and I will get more.
Do you want me to send them to my team?
That would be great. So Liz, Amy?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else have out of town ones that want to take these? Okay. Where are we now? Fast start. Stacy. Arbonne has a great incentive for new consultants that Stacy's going to tell you about.
Yes,
I'm looking at the right person. Okay. Did you bring a little back?
yes.
Okay. Just wait. Thank you. All yours.
All right, hi everybody, I'm Stacy Turner. I'm an executive area manager and a sideline to Dina. And we too really appreciate being here and being part of this. But what I'm going to share with you tonight is a little bit of information about our Fast Start program. And I know that we have some graduates here tonight, but you've heard a lot of great information about all the incentives and things that Arbonne does. We have amazing products, and we have mentoring, and we have training, and we get great discounts as consultants, and we're rewarded with trips and incentives and things like that. But Arbonne also wants you to get off to a great start when you start your Arbonne business. New consultants always ask me, well, do I have to purchase a set amount? And there isn't a set amount that you have to purchase. We work within your budgets. But Arbonne also has a really great incentive for everybody to earn if you hit certain criteria. And it's called the Fast Start program. And so when you start your business, what we do is we teach you to get to district manager in 1 or 2 months. Because when that happens, you get a pay raise. And Conley and the other ladies talked a little bit about that earlier, but there's a lot of great incentives that come along with it. So basically what you need to do is over a 1 or 2 month period, have $6,000 in retail volume, and that's you and anyone that you sponsor, any preferred clients, any retail clients over the course of the time. In addition, if you sponsor 3 new consultants that have at least a 150 order, that hasn't changed, right? A 150 order or more during that time frame, you earn a lot of great things. The first thing, I'm looking around to see if I see one. There we go. You earn the infamous Arbonne tote bag that you can only get through this program. You can't buy it or anything like that. You get the Arbonne Advantage necklace, which are the double A's, which is a really pretty necklace. I don't see one here tonight, but it's gorgeous. But here's the really cool piece of it. You get a complete RE9 skincare set, which is our main product line. So you get a whole skincare full-size set. Plus you get a $700 product voucher. And that, by far, is absolutely the coolest. Are there any Fast Start graduates here? There we go. All right. Wasn't that nice? As soon as you get it, it pops up in there. So I encourage everybody, to take a look at that and go for that when you start out as a new consultant. What a great incentive to help you get your business off the ground. So, thanks.
Thanks, Stacey. And I love that. That incentive wasn't in place until just a few years ago, and I love that it rewards people who just get to work and you can earn your product, so that there's never I can't afford to have an RE9 set. Well, and get your sponsor in front of enough groups of people, and you can earn the products that you need. Just a few quick little announcements. Hopefully, most of you all have seen this. If you are trying to earn the trip, the cruise in October 2015. December, Arbonne is doing double volume, and so also if you have not registered for it, but decide, I do want to earn this, I don't know what I was thinking last spring not to register, you can register anytime in December, and all your volume for December will count. So even if you don't register till December 31st, all your volume from all of December counts double. You don't get paid double. It's just for the little trip game. It counts double for that. And then another cool thing that they've done, and then I've learned a cool thing on top of that tonight. I thought I knew what was going on here, but the Success Packs are packages that are available only to new consultants in their start month, but Arbonne in December has made these available to all consultants, and there's several different combinations, and I love these because they are already figured at 50% off. There's good retail volume for them, and you don't have to play our Monopoly to make it come out to 50% off. It just is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So there's a nutrition one, there's different RE9 ones. There's a couple of, like one of them is 2 RE9 sets and a travel set in Genius, and if you split that, some people may want it, your clients. Some of you may want that. Maybe you need an extra RE9 set to be your tester set, the employees to be going out. But I also am going to really be sharing this with my clients who use and love RE9. And if, suggest if they don't want the cost of both of them, they can split that with their mom, with their sister, with their neighbor, best friend, and everybody's getting 50% off. You're making them very happy. You're doing it in a month where a trip volume counts. If you're not working for the trip, you're usually working for something like finishing district, getting a qualification for district, hitting a bonus. So that is really good. And so I thought that was good news enough, but I come in here tonight and Stacey tells me that any consultant, tell me who all else knew this, because no one else had seen this, that when you order one, you get a free product up to 100, any of us. And it can be, and she put it in the cart.
Do it tonight if you're going to do
She
it.
saw it. She saw an EMVP's post on Facebook that told all about that. Kristen Walters. So go tell Kristen if this doesn't work. If it's a glitch in the system, let's go home and order it before they figure it out. So I asked Stacey, she said she put in 3 different ones, and I said, did it give you 3 free products? And she said, no, it just gave the one. So, but if you order even one of those, you're already getting 50% off and the free product. Now that would market really well to our clients.
And most of those Success Packs also include, the ones I put in there anyway, 10 pack of catalogs, 10 pack of samples, and that's a nice thing to have, to have extra as well. So.
And if your clients don't want those, I know several of us have offered to say, I'll pay you back for the 10 catalogs and the sample packs, because I'm going to pay Arbonne for them anyway. And then that's a win-win, because you may as well help your client out if they don't want those. A lot of clients will keep the little sample packs for travel anyway. All right, so that's it for the announcements. Gave out the bracelets, and next, we had such a great time in the last meeting, having 3 or 4, well, we had more than that probably 5 different people who came up in the last meeting and shared either their own personal success story from following Arbonne's 28-day clean eating program or their client's story. And so there were more stories that I've heard about since then or before then that we couldn't do it all. But we are so focusing on this, not focusing on skincare anymore. We love our skincare, but this is more than just having a great tasting protein shake. This is a program that really changes people's lives, and this is one reason I can do what I do. I love the business. I love being able to help people turn those dreams into reality. That's what just fuels me, is to be able to do that. But I couldn't do it if I were just selling something. And it was just some stuff that people buy some more stuff and I make money on stuff. It has to be products that make a difference, not just in people's skin, but this is making a difference in people's health and their weight, their inches, cholesterol, energy. And so I just wanted you to hear from Jessie and Stacy, who have stories to tell. And then Alice, I asked to come up because she has a story that has nothing to do with Arbonne products, but has to do with one thing that we teach in our 28-day clean eating program is no gluten for 28 days. And everybody has one or two that they just go, no way. And for some people, it's that one. It's like my bread. I have to have my bread, my cereal, my cracker. You start to think you don't eat bread, and then you look at all the things you do eat. Chip here, cracker here, cereal here, cookie here, eating bread all day long. And I want you to hear, because I think Alice's story really underscores the importance of taking gluten out. So Jessie, how about you? Then Stacy, then Alice, and then I won't come up in between.
Okay, so my mom reached out to my aunt who did this program, and I'm just going to read what she said about what the program did for her. She said, I've been trying for a while to lose weight. I've tried weight loss programs in the past. I finally stopped since it wasn't happening, especially after I went through menopause. I began going to a doctor who does integrative medicine. So I take a number of supplements, some of which are in the detox regimen. Since I have a fatty liver, I have been trying to lose weight. Previous to trying the detox, I was having a whey shake each morning, and I would avoid wheat, potatoes, etc. I found that with the Arbonne detox, I was satisfied longer, thus I did not snack as much. Also, I don't seem to crave the sweets as much. At my last blood draw in early November, my cholesterol had gone down and also my liver enzymes. One of the enzymes is still a little over normal range, but it has come down considerably. And then the other thing she said was, she forgot to mention, she lost 10 pounds doing the program and continues to lose even after stopping. So that's been huge for my aunt.
That is cool.
Well, I'll make this real quick too. I'm going to talk a little bit about when I first got introduced to Arbonne back in 2004. I was what I call a personal use consultant. I got the discount. And back then we had some nutritional products. They definitely weren't like they are today. We've come a long way since that time, but that was my first initial introduction to them, and a friend of mine, my sponsor, actually had used them and had lost some weight. So I spent 3 months over the summer drinking the protein shakes and following. There was no system really, other than I was eating healthier, I was drinking the protein shakes, and during that time period I had gained a lot of weight. Part of it was menopause and part of it was not eating very well. So I lost that weight and I felt great. And so for years, we've had new products introduced and things like that, and we've had this amazing nutrition line, which I use the majority of the products, but I never ever participated in any of the programs like the 28-day detox or any of those. And then last October, I said, I need to do this because again, I had put back on some of that weight. The majority of that was, as I learned later on, that it was really because of everything that I was storing in my midriff, and it was due to all the gluten and processed foods and things like that. And I have to admit, I do eat relatively healthy, but I didn't realize how bad it was for me, and I was feeling lethargic a lot, and I was, a little fuzzy. My husband's like, you're a little fuzzy today. And I was like, I'm ditzy sometimes. But so I went on that program last year, and it is very strict. And you can do a modified version. I mean, there are modified versions, but I cut out. I cut gluten out of my diet. I cut alcohol out of my diet, and for those of you that know me, I love my glass of wine at night. I cut alcohol out of my diet. Cutting out coffee was a major challenge. And then I started, really looking at what I was eating and doing, making good choices when it came to my food, and I was incorporating everything into the program that Arbonne recommended. And by the end of the 28 days, this was last October, I'd lost about 7 pounds, and it was really, I felt amazing. I felt I had and I'm 54. I had more energy than I think I'd ever had in the last 4 or 5 years. I felt great. I felt like my skin even looked better because you're incorporating a lot of water into your diet as well. And so, anyway, yesterday I started a 14-day. So I get home last night, and my husband's, he's the chef in our family, and he's like, what am I going to make you? What's some pasta and this? I was like, no, I'm done. So I'm really excited to do it on a 14-day program and give you guys the results at the next meeting. But I definitely encourage you to look at it, and I'm very excited to hear about
Okay.
just a minute.
How many in here are doing the 14-day right now? All right. Well, you are very good.
Have you given up your coffee?
Cough drops and those ones. No. I went from 2 cups to 1. How's that? And I didn't do it first thing in the morning. And I'll have a story to tell.
So I'm Alice Scott. I'm a district manager with Arbonne, and I have known Dina for 5 years, something like that, but I've only been in Arbonne about 6 months. She tried to talk up the opportunity about 4 years ago, and and then maybe a year ago, and I finally got smart. But anyway, so
All right. I hear that.
So here I am. But Dina actually asked me to talk today about something. Sorry, make sure. Hi everybody. That y'all can see me. But Dina asked me to talk about my experience that actually happened before I'd ever heard of Arbonne, which was at about 27, I just started feeling sick almost every time I ate. Randomly started in June of 2006, and for a while, just kind of ignored it, didn't pay attention, or paid attention because it was irritating and debilitating at times, but just, didn't really think too much of it. Finally went to a doctor. They put me through 3 years of testing, medicines, some that they told me I just have to take the rest of my life, but guess what? I didn't feel any better, so why would I do that? That doesn't even make sense. Went through so many uncomfortable tests, I won't even talk about them, and with no results. Just saying, yeah, something's wrong. The lining of your stomach's irritated and red and inflamed and not happy, but we don't know why. So just keep taking medicine, and, eventually it'll work out. Literally, that's what the gastrointestinal specialist said. So I ranted on Facebook one night, which we've already mentioned Facebook here a couple times, but sometimes you don't want to, throw up on Facebook, but sometimes you do, and I did one night, and I'm actually really glad I did, because a friend of mine messaged me separately and said, you sound like me 6 months ago. Try not eating gluten. And I was like, what is gluten? First of all, she had to explain to me what that was, because literally I had no idea what she was talking about, and this was May of 2009. So almost exactly 3 years later. And she said, here's what you cut out, and here's some of the pitfalls. Watch out for soy sauce. Watch out. Did you know Twizzlers, second ingredient, wheat? Ooh. If you think Twizzlers are okay, you're wrong. I just got a lot of looks on that. You gotta be careful. Yep. It's in places you would not think. But anyway, so she gave me some tips and tricks and told me what to avoid. I felt better in 3 days than I felt in 3 years. I could not believe it. And then when I went back to the doctor and told them, they said, well, that's all well and good, but eat gluten for 2 weeks and go take a blood test so we can tell you. And I said, you know what? I don't need a blood test to tell me. I know how I feel. So one thing that I love about the 28-day, and I'm sure they do it in other lines, but I know Andy in our line, who leads a lot of the Facebook page for 28-day and all that, really talks about once you've taken all these things out of your diet, don't just finish and go hog wild right back in. Because again, you may not even realize which of the things that you cut out made the biggest difference for you and how you felt during those times or at the end of that, or when you lost weight, or when, whatever it was, the cholesterol or the liver enzymes go down. Why was it? You've cut out so many things at once, and it can be overwhelming, I know. But when you are done, just putting one thing back at a time to see, okay, does it really make me feel, do I feel okay, or does it really make a difference? And that's something that when I talk to people who are planning to do the 28-day, I really encourage them to really kind of only put one thing back at a time. Because you really may find that it is gluten, or it is, whatever else, soy, or whatever it was that really was the culprit. And you can maybe cut that out permanently and really just feel better for the long term. So that's my story, and
That is quite I knew from Kappa, functions together that Alice is gluten-free because everybody was always, this doesn't have it. But I didn't know that story until one of our clean eating nights, and you were sharing that when we were doing our clean eating session, and I thought that it just underscores to me the value of what we're saying, which is why I asked you to share that, because it just, we're not just picking these random things out of the air to not eat. And I know I feel immensely better not having it. And for y'all who are quizzing me, friends, about how I'm doing on clean eating, I will answer. I actually started the no gluten about a week before Thanksgiving because I wanted it to, and did it 3 Thanksgivings. So, and they want to know about my coffee. So here, I will just tell you, since we have a couple of extra minutes, it says in the clean eating, what you are craving is what you're addicted to, and what you're addicted to are the things that are your things that you're allergic to. I cannot function without coffee, so I've told myself. So the first morning of clean eating, and I have 2 cups a day, 1 in the morning and 1 sometime in the afternoon. And I know Conley does too, because that's when I talk to her. She's driving through Starbucks or whatever. So, but anyway, I'm not going to let you. This is my modified clean eating buddy here. We bond.
Just pre-cleanse driving through Starbucks.
And now she's posting her fizz drink on on Facebook. And so yesterday morning, I thought I have to do it for my team. I have to do it. I should have taken a picture because Miss Alice, I tried to do your recipe of detox tea, and I have my hot tea there, and I dump in a fizz stick. Why did I not take fizz stick first? And I was so mad. I ran in the kitchen and cleaned it up, and I was like, that should have been on Facebook. Morning 1, hour 1 of clean eating, and I have got the biggest mess going on here. But it was, Natalie was in there, and she said, so how is it? And I said, coffee, it is not. But it's okay. And you know what? That all morning I had the best energy. It's like, darn, I don't want to see that much of a difference. I want it to be, and I will say by the afternoon, to be honest, I was unfocused. Because I had not had my afternoon work. Yeah. And so I was trying to work. I had several different things because company was finally gone. And I thought, well, I should have another fizz stick. And I thought, I want the coffee. So, okay, I made the coffee. And it was like my whole body had this sigh. I was fine. But this morning I thought, I do not want to give in to that. And I did the fizz stick right this time. I remembered how you said to do it. And I thought all morning and all afternoon, I felt great. And I did not have that unfocused, I need the coffee kind of thing. So I'm going to do it. I did have I'm going to stay with it and have my little volcano of fizz and detox in the morning. But I can do this for 2 weeks. So I am determined. Now I've stood up in front of you and said, no more
accountability
coffee.
Partners.
And
I'm right there with you. That's the biggest challenge for me.
It's not, so, but it just shows you how dependent on something your body can get. So is anybody else modifying coffee this week? So, okay, maybe. All right, you know what? Let's do the raffles and then I will wrap up. How about, who has not been up here yet? Becky, Dottie, you two go up here. How about y'all do the raffles? And we have, how many raffles do we have? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the raffle bag bag is over there by Stacy.
Okay.
And there are 6 raffle prizes. So, okay.
I love doing this.
Becky, okay, are you reading? Are you reading? Okay, so Dottie, you grab the raffle. Dottie, oh, we're taking out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I won something last month.
And you can draw 6 and just run those to anyone.
Okay.
This goes back on the raffle.
It's my number.
886.
I would do one on there. I have that one that Don's holding.
I like those. Look, Santa.
878. Santa. 878. Yay!
Thank you.
All right.
That was
Sticker.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh, do you want me to do it then? Okay, I'll do it.
No, 874. 874. I won't peek. 894. 894. 894.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right, Nancy.
All right. This 881. 881. 881. 881. Going once. What about 882? Me. No.
Is it yours?
I don't think I know. No, 886. John,
It probably is mine. Yeah, Debbie lost her ticket.
876.
Oh wait, give it to Debbie. Debbie knows.
Debbie.
Just Debbie.
I lost my ticket, so if
That's what they all say, Debbie. If Carly were here, she would.
That's right.
And 876?
Yay!
Oh, these two. No. One. This is one.
Rig to the Jamies.
Just this one. You're right.
Nobody took it. The client night.
Use this one.
I know, I want that.
That's awesome.
884. That's it. Thank you. Can't read raffle tickets. Have to get somebody who can. All right. I am going to close out this evening, just sharing a little bit. One thing that I want to share, I've shared before, some of you have heard me say this, but I always keep in mind that newer consultants who haven't heard this, and certainly not the guests, but a book that several of us have read called The Go-Giver. I absolutely love it, would recommend it. It has nothing to do with building a network marketing business. It's well worth reading just to be inspired to be a better person in many areas, and that's not even doing the book justice, but it's well worth reading. And it's a parable, it's fictional but full of meaning. And in this one particular conversation in the book, that one person is saying there are 3 universal reasons for earning an income. One is to survive, to meet your basic needs. The second is to save, to go beyond the basic needs and expand your life. And the third is to serve, to make a contribution to the world. So where do the majority of people spend their time? Survive, save, serve. What do you think? I'll pass the test. Those people are in that survival mode, and you heard it mentioned several times up here tonight. Things like, month to month, paycheck to paycheck, too much month left at the end of the money, or paying the bills, but we were able to pay the bills, but there were not retirement savings, there was not vacations, there were not just that breathing room extra. And so that is where most people are spending their life, is in that. The save, to be able to go a little bit beyond that, and then has a small percentage of people who are able to do that, and then only a tiny, tiny percent of people really live their lives in that serve mode, although most people who I know are such servers, they would love to be able to live in that kind of mode. And I think of all the benefits that we've heard shared about this business tonight, this one is the one that means the most to me, because Arbonne has been and continues to be the vehicle that has taken us out of that survive, on into save, and beyond that into being able to serve. And I just look forward to, more and more and more of that last one with the time freedom. But even just in the save or expanding and going a little bit beyond, I look forward to tomorrow when Carly's, my oldest daughter's first little guy, turns 5. And he doesn't know it, but when we FaceTime tomorrow morning, he gets to open a card that shows him we're going to Great Wolf Lodge, which is where he wants to live. And he's been asking, when are we ever going back there? And of course, we're going back and taking the whole little family. And we're going to be there a day and a night and the next day. Now, that's not a huge vacation. It's 2 days, 1 night. But I did not have to ask anyone if it was okay if I was off on Wednesday or Thursday. I did not have to worry about, now what is this going to do? What if we have to have, repair on the car by the end of the month? And can we really afford to do something like that? And those are just little things like that I was not able to do when our own children were growing up. But we wouldn't have planned something like that for a 5-year-old birthday. And I don't spoil these kids, but it's really fun to just be able to just give a little bit and just be able to do something fun for those who are very important to me. So, but in the, and then in the serving, it's just why top MVPs in this company, those who are not just earning $100,000 a year, but many who are earning $100,000, 6-figure incomes a quarter, and many who are earning 6-figure incomes a month, are still working their business and are still teaching and training others, not because they need to make more money, but because they're so grateful for the choices this business has given them that they want to help others to maybe not be where they are if they don't want that, but to be able to have the choices that they have, certainly to be where they are if that's what they want. And so this business really, if it's a matter of needing to earn, $500 to $1,000 extra a month, to be able to have some different choices or be able to replace an income or be able to go beyond that, to be able to really do something different with your life. This business absolutely offers that, and anyone in this room can get to the top of the company, get as far in the company as you want, take others with you. As Jesse said, it's 1% brand awareness on the product in this country, and I continue, after working my business consistently for 8 years, everywhere I go, people have not heard of Arbonne. I'll go do a vendor table, and 9 out of 10 people have never even heard the word, or go do a skincare workshop or a clean eating somewhere, and maybe one person even sort of knows that word, and that's it. But most people do not. If they've heard of it, they don't have a consultant, they've never really been educated on the products, and certainly not educated on the business and what it can do. Now, I want to read something at the end that some of you, I think, at least I know that Drusilla and Dottie have already heard this today. How many else have happened to had time to hear the recorded opportunity call that I sent out today? Whoa. Well, Stacy, I have to thank you for this, because I don't know how many times you and I have emailed back and forth, or how many times the signature, click on this link to your Linda Parker's opportunity call has been there, maybe years, and I just saw it today. I'm teased at home for never noticing any details, but today I saw that because we'd emailed about the meeting and what you were going to do here. And so I clicked on that, listened to it this morning, and thought, this is now at the top of my list of my favorite opportunity calls. And I want every one of you to, listen to that and share it. Dottie said she sent it out and shared it with others right away. It's so real. And if any, starting with the start that Linda had and getting to, she's in the top 10 income earners and has been since before I started Arbonne, and she was already in there. But she closed with this story, so sorry, the 3 of you or 4 who have heard it today. But as soon as she started reading the story, I thought, I have that. It's in one of my John Maxwell books. And I every now and then will think of it and think, where is that? And it made me think, I have to share this. It's a true story. So for those of you who are younger, do y'all know who Art Linkletter is? Okay. Does that only the baby boomers who know who he is? No, you young ones don't. He was a television, nobody wants to raise their hand and say, I'm as old as you are. And Okay, he was a television pioneer in the 1950s. All right, you'll recognize the other person. So John Maxwell called the story, "Some Just Can't See It." Sometimes even an accomplished leader with a compelling vision has trouble getting everyone to buy into his dreams. That was true in the early 1950s when a friend of television pioneer Art Linkletter tried to convince him to buy some land. His buddy, a movie executive who had been a close family friend for years, drove him out into the country to look at some property. After driving for more than 25 miles, they turned off the main road and drove through the fields and groves of trees. There wasn't a person for miles. They saw grazing horses and the occasional abandoned shed. Art's friend began explaining his next bold venture, an amusement park, unlike anything the world had ever seen. It would be its own little world and would contain areas with names like Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Art thought his friend Walt was crazy. Who in the world is going to drive 25 miles to ride a roller coaster, he thought to himself. Linkletter later wrote, "I had such admiration for his business acumen and his show business savvy that I hardly knew how to tell him I thought he was making the biggest, most ruinous mistake of his entire life." End of quote. After painting a verbal picture of his vision, Walt said to his friend, "Art, financially I can handle only Disneyland itself. It will take everything I have as it is. But the land bordering on it, where we're standing now, will be jammed with hotels, motels, restaurants, convention halls to accommodate the people who will come to spend their entire vacations here at my park in just a couple of years. I've bought all I can afford, and I want you to have an opportunity to get some of the surrounding acreage because it will increase in value several hundred times in the next 5 years." Walt Disney, this is my favorite sentence here, had no agenda with his friend other than to add value to him. He wanted to share an opportunity, but Linkletter just couldn't see it. He made excuses and said he would look into it later. "Later will be too late," responded Disney. "You had better move on it right now." Disney was right, of course, and Linkletter never forgot his walk back to the car because he later figured that it probably cost him about $1 million per step. So I just think that is such a powerful story, true story, as we think about this, because going back to that line that all he wanted, he had no agenda with his friend other than to add value to him. He saw what he was going to create. He could see it clearly, just wanted his friend to have an opportunity to be part of it. And I find so many times when you're brand new in the business, there's a hesitation to ask others to join you because you think, I don't want to ask them to do anything for me. I don't even know what I'm doing, and how can I ask someone to do something for me? And it's really important that that shift changes and think like this and just be Walt Disney out there just offering to Art Linkletter this opportunity. Y'all know one of my favorite quotes. I won't say my favorite because you'll say you have 200 favorite quotes. But one of them is that about there are those who live in a dream world and those who live in reality and those who turn the one into the other. And this is all you're offering someone is that opportunity to come with you and turn their dreams into reality. You're not asking them to come to work for you. You could interview every person in here who's part of my region, and I know none of them feel like an employee, that they're working for me, because they're not. It's not their job to do anything for me. It's my job to get to my privilege to teach and train and serve and encourage everyone who becomes a part of this organization. And that is all you're saying to someone else when you ask them to look at this opportunity is you're not coming to work for me. Just come with me. Take this journey together with me, and we're following people who are successful, and I'm turning my dreams into reality with this vehicle. Come with me and turn your own dreams into reality. So if you just think about that part of just offering the value to someone else. And if they say no, a lot of my friends said no. Maybe if they had said yes, I wouldn't have kept on asking, and I wouldn't have the awesome friends team in my life that I have now. People will say no. People will maybe come back years later. And you have no idea who is looking for this. And so I just encourage you, if you're already a consultant, to ask. And if you're a guest, just listen again to those questions that Jessie asked at the end of her part. If you keep doing what you're doing, where will you be in 5 years? And I asked myself that question 8 years ago. I did not like the answer to that. And as much as I wanted to say, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? The overruling question was, what if it does? And I knew I didn't want to look back and think, what if? And you know, for every one of you, you get to decide if it works. It's not like something happens that decides it doesn't work for you. You get to decide by just your consistency and thinking of Walt Disney, the clear vision. By Alice, is Halsey had his limit?
I think so, sorry. That's my why, screaming in the hall.
And that's it. We're wrapping up anyway. So great seeing all of you. And I guess I have to say Merry Christmas now. But a lot of you I won't see until January 6th, where we'll meet right back here again. Anybody else